Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Gap Network Show here. We are coming live to you. Here we are. Yeah, there you go. We're coming live to you from our very new place to actually be doing our Gap Network Show. So for those of you that are watching online, we want you to grab your pens and papers. We've got some prizes. We've got some stuff to share with you tonight that will really help you, we believe. Larry, what are we talking about? What are we doing tonight?
We've got so many things to talk about. One thing I want to say is this is over 12 months in the making. So
yeah. Oh my gosh.
We're so happy
yes.
to be here, talking to you, having an audience.
Yep.
Where we never used to have an audience around before. So very excited about that. And thank you for coming tonight. And for those that are online watching us, please put some comments up because we're going to ask some questions.
Indeed.
To you and what we're going to do.
Yeah, we've got lots of things we were talking about. Just before we came on a little late tonight because a couple of reasons, but forgive us for that. But we actually started on a wonderful venture or adventure, should I say, in getting people to put down their life in 1 year, 5 year, and 10 years in pictures. So if you're watching online with us right now, grab yourself a piece of paper from somewhere, or even do it on if you've got an iPad or something similar, a tablet of some sort, you can do it on there if you want to. But what we want you to do is to write down what your life looks like in 1 year, 5 year, or 10 years, but in pictures. Now, we've already had a few people here tonight sort of saying, well, how do we do this? And what is, a few questions around all of that. So it's been great, but we actually want you to take a few moments to actually do that. Get a piece of paper out, get that tablet out and go 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. Guys, how are we going? If everyone here, just how do we go with that? Just give a little bit of feedback from the group here. How do we go? Okay. I think we've got someone with a roving mic there, have we? Or have we got that ready yet? We'll get that in a second. We'll actually just get someone to talk about that for us. So the idea of this is actually to create things that are a little bit different and look at things a little bit differently in the way that we see life, do life, and all the rest of that kind of thing. So this is what it's all about as far as the coaching network is concerned. A little bit different to just say a business network as such. We do have business people here with us tonight, different people from all walks of life. It's great. We actually have a lot of creative people in here tonight, actually, which is great. We almost started a choir, but it's great to have them here as well and putting some of these things down on paper. So now, if we duck over to Daryl, please, there, Matt. And just, Daryl, if you can just tell us, and they're about to hear you, won't be to see you, but we'll hear you.
So year one, I've got a picture of being under the pump.
Right. Okay.
Because I don't see anything different to being under the pump for the whole year. Year 5, I've got a picture of me at a podium at an awards ceremony with 1,000 of our students in attendance.
There you go.
That's fantastic. At year 10, it's the family has bought, inherited, or found an island in the Pacific somewhere to just vacate.
I love that.
We have visitation rights.
That's what, yeah, we have visitation rights. That'll be wonderful. Scott, what have you got? Have you got something there? Or?
Yeah. I've got 1 year. I've got some pictures of my family at university and me winning a race in Formula V.
Oh, there you go.
I've also got a hopeful, like a plane chasing towards New Zealand. In 5 years, I've got more racing and a trip to the USA, hopefully, but you never know. The USA might not clear itself out by then. And a picture of my daughter making movies and my wife being a nurse. And in 10 years, I've got a picture of my daughter getting an Oscar for her movies.
There you go.
And me racing at Mount Panorama.
That's phenomenal.
Well done.
That's great. Now, Len, let's just jump across. Yeah, jump across. Thanks, mate. So, Len, there's just one more, and then we're going to jump on for the rest of the program. Go ahead.
First year is I'm at the bottom of a staircase, and at the top of the staircase, I'm meeting myself coming up the stairs. So the first part of the year is the beginning, and the last part of the staircase at the end of the year.
There you go.
And then in 5 years, I hit the landing. So I'm at the landing having a bit of a rest, and then the last few stairs, at the end of 5 years, I get to retire.
There you go.
And in 10 years' time, fishing.
I love it. That's great. Fishing. Whereabouts? Just on the coast, or?
Probably the Adriatic.
There you go. So the Adriatic. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds very marvelous. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, oh, okay, all the great stuff. Now, if you're watching us online, for those of us that are watching us online, there's a few of you there I can see that are watching us. If you haven't already written down this, we just gave you a few moments just to get some idea of some of the things these guys have actually drawn. So in the comments, for those of you watching on, can you please just let us know what you're writing down, what you're doing with all of that. So make some comment down there as well about what you're doing, what you're thinking about in a year, and in 5 years, and in 10 years. Because what it's going to do, in a lot of cases, Larry, people don't think a year or 5 or 10 years ahead.
No, live before the day seems to be the things that we hear a lot about. You know, just for the day, I can't see far enough ahead, but it's an old saying, but true, without a vision, a man will perish. And that's why it's so important to visualize the future, what it's going to look like, because you can step into that. You actually can step in. I've seen enough people over my life, and a lot of people in this room have seen enough people in their life that once they've stepped into that, that becomes more cemented in their body and their spirit, their mind, and they get driven towards it. If you're just going around doing a day at a time, just waiting to see what happens around me, it's just a terrible way to actually exist, because that's what you're doing. You haven't got a vision for the future for you, your family, your friends, what you want to give, what organisations you want to help. All those things can come into play, let alone your health. You want to live to another 10 years? Oh, gee, yeah, definitely. All right, well, I want to live to be a healthy 10 years older, for instance. So all those things you need to take into consideration when you're looking at 1, 5 and 10.
Yeah. This is why I have Larry here, you see. He's the deep one. No, but that's brilliant. That's actually really good. Now, this afternoon, we are, as I said, in a new studio, and that studio is called Fusion Creative. Fusion with a PH. And for those that are here, have you enjoyed it so far? Like, they love the vibe of it and everything. It's a great spot. And it's with Mike and Matt and Corey. They've actually put this together here in Mullen Diner on the Gold Coast. And we actually just wanted to big shout out to them. Just a couple of things I want to tell you a bit about it. Fusion Creative is a full service boutique production house. There you go. It's a one-stop shop for all creatives offering audio recording, music production. Hang on, I'll go the radio voice. Photography, video production, graphic design, web design, live streaming, and many other things. So Fusion Creative provides comprehensive support and consultation services for artists, musicians, songwriters, and a whole bunch of other people. So, and let me just say, the guys that are here are phenomenal in terms of their experience. Like the collective experience between the three of these guys is like dozens of years, well, probably decades of years of just being able to do this kind of stuff and putting on events and things. And they've done a terrific job in putting this all together for us even tonight, which has been good. So if you're looking for someone that's doing that, you want to get something recorded, something done like that, this is the place to come if you're on the Gold Coast, or even if you're not on the Gold Coast. Come and join us here as well as far as that goes. So that's us tonight as far as Fusion Creative, and we can we'll have them come on and actually have a bit of a chat with us another time as well. But tonight we want to head into now something that we call the Foundry. Now the Foundry is an opportunity to actually, and a concept of a foundry, by the way, is like a manufacturing plant for those of you that don't know that, watching online or wherever. A foundry is a place where you actually get to forge new ideas and concepts and actually learn things and skill and upskill and so forth and so on. So tonight, we've actually got a special guest coming up who's here with us tonight, and he's actually going to come up and talk tonight about some things that I think are really important to us. So let's give Scott a really big hand as he comes to share with us tonight. I'll move over here.
Thanks, Eddie. I get whacked in the head, that's all right. Hello to everybody at home or wherever you are at the moment. This is a bit new to me. It's pretty amazing being here at Fusion Creative. Really amazed by the show. My name's Scott Andrew. My background is at 22 years of age, I decided I want to start a business, and 30 years later, I'm still doing that business. It's hydroponics, which is a bit different, and that's kept it interesting over the years. We make nutrient solutions, and we import stuff, and we make stuff, and we help people learn about growing their own veggies and stuff. So Doing that for about 30 years, and I guess the thing which I've found is that over the years, anxiety has probably been my greatest challenge. Sometimes it's been crippling when things have been going wrong. So what I wanted to suggest is that there is some benefit to a little bit of anxiety. Sometimes things just don't go right. There's a passage in Proverbs that says, "A wise man sees trouble on the road ahead, and he changes his path, but a fool goes on to his demise." I think that I'd want to be a wise man and when he sees some trouble and change path. So for me, business has always been about having faith in myself, having faith in God for me, and it's been working for 30 years. And when it's gone wrong, looking back, generally there's always been a sign. There's been signs on the road. So right now, if I ever get a feeling or something, there's something wrong, I sit down, I've got a series of questions and data I go through just to make sure I've got it right, and I compare it to the past. And generally I can see when there's a sign and find a solution. But this sort of thing doesn't have to be in business. A couple of weeks ago, I was at a racetrack with a fellow racing driver, and he was just all over the shop. He didn't really know what he was doing. He'd left all his parts and his tools away, and we were trying to help him and asked him what was going on. And he said that he'd been married for 35 years, and 2 days ago, his wife wanted a divorce. And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, just out of the blue, suddenly." And I thought, that doesn't happen suddenly. And it wasn't until that evening when we were talking about family that he sort of admitted that his son's intellectual problems were causing strain on the marriage for 15 years. So there were signs for about 15 years there was a problem. And so you really need to keep an eye out for the signs on the road. And it can apply to all areas of your life. Stephen Jobs was quoted to say that the reason why he saw stuff was because he had the ability to zoom out and have a look at the whole thing rather than just being really close to the problem. And that's one of the ways that I try to identify the problems on the road. So my suggestion is just listen to the small voice and learn to change paths when you need to. That's always helpful for me. I hope it's helpful for you too.
Yeah, that's great. Let's give Scott a hand. That's great. Great stuff. You know, when you're talking about that, because there are signs along the way that actually do that. What would you say, like in terms of, well, life or business, doesn't really matter. Just give answer on that. In terms of that, what would you say are some of the signs that you've seen over the years that have kind of, even in retrospect, that have really, helped you along the way, I guess?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it's the little things like my bank account's a little low. Now that might not be a problem. It might be that I've paid some bills lately, and I've got to go and do some maths and work out that it's right. But instead of ignoring it and going, "Oh, yeah, it's probably okay," I always make sure that I just treat it like a proper sign and get it done and ensure that it's the right thing.
No, that's true. And there's a lot of stuff in terms of business. Like one of the things in terms of that people don't take a lot of notice is, in fact, they oftentimes bury their heads in the sand over that kind of stuff as well. And it's important to not be that person, as you said.
Yeah, that's right. And that goes for relationships. I've been married now nearly 25 years. And whenever there's a problem, just deal with it straight away. Don't let it fester. Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, we're in business, COVID comes along. What did you have to do to adjust in your business? What steps did you take?
I basically went underneath my desk and whimpered for a little while. And my imagination went absolutely wild. And I started writing out plans for my eventual demise and how I was going to deal with it all. Actually, yeah, we ended up doing really well out of it because people couldn't go on holidays, so they started spending money. And what first happened was they went and cleared out the gardening section of Bunnings, and when they finished that, they came over to me. And I think what we usually sell probably a dozen packs of seeds a week, and we sold like 800 packs of seeds in 2 days under COVID, and then we couldn't get any more seeds. So COVID was initially panic, and then there was no reason to. But I'm really sympathetic to the guys that it didn't work out for that.
Sure. It's good. Thanks, Scott.
That's great. Let's give Scott a hand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for all of that. Thanks, Scotty. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you. I'll jump. All righty. Well, tonight also we're heading into some what?
Oh,
You going to say something else?
Oh, just about the Foundry itself.
Oh, yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Just that we've got so many gifted people in this room, gifted in varying areas. A lot of them would even use that word talented in certain areas, but we've all got your own special gifts. And a lot of times in business and in life, we've got gifts that we can share with someone that may be struggling in that area. And business people in particular, sometimes, Scott's saying, you can actually bury your head in the sand. You look at, you're running your business, you can't seem to change, what do I do now? And they don't actually seek someone. They don't even look to someone. They find it difficult. I've got to handle it myself. We want to be able to get a bit of unity with the gap coaching that we do, with people that come in that are in business, that need a help, need a lift up. That's what we're here for. We just want to know that's why we want to do this for you, for us as well, because we just love serving people, helping people, doing what we can. So we just say to you, if you're online looking at us, anything like that, and you're thinking of coming and joining us in a live audience, bring a guest along. Bring someone that you think, it might be a staff member you think could be challenged. It could be one of your children. It could be a friend that's doing it tough. Well, hey, bring them along. We have it. It's virtually every Tuesday of the last Tuesday of the month. We're trying to get that set.
Yeah, the 25th of May will be our next one.
Yeah. So I just encourage you, just consider that people are around you, that they all haven't got it together. Everyone has their challenges, and we just believe that we can help them with challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to do that as much as possible with as many people as possible as well. So again, if you're watching online, please take the time to write down the details. Again, we're at Fusion Creative on the Gold Coast here in Mollendina, and face-to-face we'll be doing that. And as we get busier, of course, we'll do more of these to help more people, because as those of us that are in the room here, there's only so many people that can fit in here. So it's going to be first in, best dressed as far as getting into those into us live. But nevertheless, everyone enjoyed themselves so far.
Okay.
Good.
Good. Stuff.
That's good. And again, Scott, thanks so much for that. We appreciate what you brought to us. And as Larry said, there are people in this room that will get involved in getting up here and doing exactly what Scott did earlier on as well, just to share some things that are a part of the Foundry of life, part of the Foundry of business and things that we're doing. All right. We want to jump on, Mr. Larry, into this is it, mate. This is your baby.
I know. And
Right?
I'm going to mess with his head tonight too, because we sometimes have a quiz or some challenges that go out there. When you come in, you had a little questionnaire that went to everybody.
Yeah.
Questions asked today.
Yes, inbound.
Right, so
yes, that's right.
I just the headline: influencers, mentors. If you won the lottery, just those questions. What I want to do is, for those that are online watching us, and for those that are sitting here, I want you to think about this between now and the next time. Believing that you all come back and bring a friend.
Yep.
How's that?
Yeah, no, we mentioned it.
Just me.
You mentioned it again.
Yeah, that's good. We keep mentioning. So the good thing about it is just to get you thinking, and these are just questions that sometimes we can take life too seriously, and we just don't start to imagine things or be a little more creative and ask certain questions. So I've got some little quirky. Let's call them quirky.
Yeah.
Right.
Are we going to get some people up the front to do that? Come and answer those questions, or are you just going to
can put them on the spot if you want to be the spotter. I'll read the question. If you can go around and say, "I'll pick this one."
Done.
Audience participation is good.
All right.
Okay.
Are we going to have some people on the stools here, though?
Entirely over you.
Okay. Well, you stand over there.
This is live, mate.
It's live. It's all happening. So if you stand over there,
I'll stand over here.
why don't you stand over there?
I'll just be over
And I'm going to choose some people to get involved in this. So Graham, you're up.
Just be careful you don't hit your head on the TV screen.
Yeah, we won't. We will promise you won't do
Sandy,
that. Sam, you're up. And Amanda, you're up.
You're up.
Come on up, you guys. Let's give them a big hand, everybody.
Okay.
Up here. Someone grab a seat, grab a seat, grab a
Come on,
seat.
there we go.
You guys,
All
and
right.
Larry's I'm going to get out of the way and sit over here.
All right. Oh, look, this. Oh, really? Hang on, so I don't want to feel. Oh, the audience. No. All right. Okay. All right. This is. I'll do only one at a time, not three of you. So, all right. Just do one at a time. Give you time of thought. Okay. The first question right, is this: if you could sit down with your 13-year-old self, what would you say? I know you're not long over it, mate. No, it's not. So, yeah.
Where do you start?
All right, mate, you've got a minute, 59, 58.
You don't know everything. And learn from older people. Learn from your parents and your grandparents.
Amazing about that. I think a lot of us kind of got that, didn't we? Yeah, that's a very, very good answer. I'm impressed. All right. Hang on. What would be the title of your memoir?
Oh, Lord.
No, it's a that.
Okay,
Oh,
no, that would.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe that would be the title. Oh, Lord.
I think it's a great title.
Oh, gosh. I'd have to play on my name, I think, like best.
Yes.
She's the best.
Yeah, except me, the best is gone. So
Yeah,
you
but
should-
oh, Lord,
yeah,
probably. Let's
okay.
go with the first thought.
All right, it's excellent. All right, excellent. All right, here we go, Graham. You ready? Put your thinking hat on. All right, this is a bit of a long one. What are the top 3 things on your bucket list? If you don't have a bucket list, what date would be one item that you wish you could do before you left this world?
Good grief.
I told you the long one. That's for the more elderly and mature in your years to answer.
The first item on my bucket list is this lady here. She's amazing. And
My husband might not like that.
No.
no,
There could be a problem.
No, not like that. I'm too old for that. But we've worked on the same programs over 20 or 30 years, but we've never actually met. And she doesn't know that, but I've worked with Karen and Karen Young and all sorts of people. So I've been looking forward to meeting this girl for a long time. So there you go. There's number 1 on the bucket list.
There we go. Come on.
Number 2, obviously, is to get out of this COVID nonsense and to get on with business. And in particular, we have some goals in a number of countries that we want to achieve. And I'm burning to get out of this country and off and running into Africa and India and Thailand and Philippines. So that's my number 2 bucket thing.
Excellent.
And we're very, very focused on that.
Yeah.
And then this is because I'm involved in, well, I'm a focused Christian. My third one is that I want to be a part of growing God's church on the Gold Coast in those countries I've already mentioned. And I want to see some changes happening that probably I can, it's rude to say this, but I did that.
That's all right. That's good. That's good. All right. Now we've got 2 to go. All right. Now this is for everybody. This is everybody. All right. Now we'll get you to just, let's use the word marinate on when your thoughts. All right. What is the most memorable lesson you learned from your parents or someone else? We'll start from Graham, seeing you're already talking. We'll leave the audience and just have them think about that and maybe write that down somewhere. Nice try.
I am blessed, or I have been blessed with parents who love the Lord and who are focused on serving Him. And so my natural inclination is to try and serve Him. I don't do it very well, but as I get older, I realise the value of the lessons that they taught me, and I'm getting closer to doing that stuff that they taught me. In business, I've discovered that the more I serve, well, the closer I get to God, the more I follow His precepts, the better business goes. I've lost track of the question.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
No, wait, that'll do. We can go, Amanda.
Okay. So many lessons, as you say. The older you get, the more you realise how much was invested in you and deposited. But I would say to always take the good. So situations happen. But I remember my dad once, we were in a very tough situation, and he looked at me and he said, Amanda, take the good and leave the rest. And the more I've got beautiful people around me, the more they show me how to look at situations like that. And then that way, even troubled times become that much lighter because I can just, where's the good? Where's the good?
Yeah, excellent. Sam?
Mine would be probably from my grandfather, and my mum would agree with me. And it's something he used to always say, and I only really got a full grasp of it later in life now. And he said he endeavored to never think no negative thought, speak no negative word, and take no negative action. And that's I'm realizing more now how important that is.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'll tell you all one that's I got from my dad. He said to me when I was about 16, he said, treat your mind like a parachute, keep it open. So I've always endeavoured to do that, and I just encourage that. Some people get so in their own stuff that they know everything and do everything themselves. Just if they open their mind up, there's so much that you can actually learn, so much you can impart on someone. That you've got, as I said earlier, gifts no one else has. You might say that one word that can be the difference between that person stepping over the line going one way or stepping over the line and going the other. All right, now the last one is just this for everyone, it's a takeaway. You don't have to answer this one. But the last one is, what was the most difficult thing you've ever done? Now, everybody in this room, if you're an adult, has a difficult thing that they've done in their life. And sometimes we don't want to talk about it, and that can be a challenge in itself. Because if you can talk about it, it's a release, because guess what? You're overcomer, because you are where you are now because you overcome that most difficult thing in your life. I'll leave that with you. All right? Thanks very much for coming up, guys. Appreciate it. Sandy?
Thank you. Thanks for that, guys. That was great. Everyone enjoy that? Very good. Very good indeed. Always stuff to learn from that. Again, one of the things that what we want to do, both online and offline, is in the sense of being face-to-face, is to make sure that we have some things you mentioned before, takeaways for us for the night, for what we're doing here. We want to make sure that you're getting something that's actually going to help you grow, become better, take the limits off your life and the things that you're doing in life. And so that's really, really important to everything that we do through gap coaching and everything else we're doing here. Now, tonight also, we gave you a sticker. Everyone got their sticker? And now, did anyone work out what CPS stands for? Now, you probably can't see it from there, but I'm talking about online people now. We actually have the letters C.P.S on our shirts or whatever. And that actually stands for something particular. Now, Daryl has an idea. Daryl, what do you think CPS stands for?
Well done. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Well,
Just say it again, please.
Yes.
It stands for Cool Pastor Sandy.
That's good.
Yeah, right. Thanks very much.
Now, I'll just say, can I interrupt for 1 second?
No.
So we're live, our audience out there in internet land, we'll call them. Why don't you see if you can work it out? We might even have a prize.
Absolutely. If you can work it out.
Work it out by the time
we finish the program, if you can work out what CPS or what you think CPS is, please just put it down there in the comments, and we'll put it down there. And we'll get you to do that as well. If you're watching there, please put some comments down, and we'd love you to put in what CPS stands for. Thank you so much. All right, that's one more thing that we wanted to talk about. I want to share with you something tonight. Oh, you'll be finding this out at the end. You'll be finding this out at the very end.
Exactly.
It's all right. It's nothing awful. It's actually something quite good. And it's not called Pastor Sandy. It's definitely not that. All right. For those of you that want to take notes, you can. This is the time when we actually want to talk about the subject. Tonight, it is myself that I'm just going to share with you just for about 10 minutes on some points about change. Tonight, we're actually talking about change. In fact, the title of what we're sharing tonight, for those of you online as well, is Ready to be Changed. Ready to be changed. Everyone say it with me. Ready to be changed. All right. So what we're actually looking at tonight is the ability for us to change. Now, we live in a world today, and we've mentioned it a few times tonight. COVID has been a situation where people have been pushed into change. Is that not so? We've been pushed into a lot of things that, in many cases, we didn't really want to do. And it was necessary. We understand that. We understand that there were necessary things that governments and various organizations in charge of this, that, and the other, health departments and so on, had to do for good reasons. And we understand all of that. But we felt, in many cases, pushed into those things. And many cases, we pushed back against that, as in terms of how we felt about that, in terms of our attitudes toward those kind of things. Now, I can understand that there are times in life or even in history, if you go back, and you'll see where people pushed back in terms of change on things that were, causing problems in the world. Now, we have a lot of stuff today, but let me just go back to a couple of centuries ago to a man by the name of William Wilberforce. And William Wilberforce was the guy who got rid of slavery. And because he pushed back in a place in that situation, change was a good thing in that situation. You understand what I'm saying? And so there are times in history, and there are times even now and today in today's world, where we need to push back on things that are important to push back on. Does everyone make sense what I'm saying? So in looking at that and moving forward from that, though, change is necessary. Change is still necessary for us. Scott mentioned the fact that he was whimpering under a desk earlier on because he didn't know quite what to do with COVID when that happened. But in terms of pivoting and in terms of actually that kind of thing happening, there were a lot of businesses that went really well, and there were a lot of businesses that unfortunately didn't go so well because they couldn't or didn't have the clue or didn't want to change. And in a lot of cases, as human beings, what we do is we forget about the concept of change. We forget about the concept of, you know what, my idea is great, but Daryl's idea or Scott's idea or Amanda's idea or Len's idea might be better than mine. And oftentimes because of our own pride, our own way of thinking, of doing things, just like, no, I can do this myself. I've got all the great ideas in the whole world, and don't tell me differently. But we don't want to be like that, do we? We want to actually be different to that. We want to be different people that actually take the time to be ready to be changed and to be the change agents that we actually need to be. So in order to look at that, I just wrote down 4 different things tonight, just quickly, to share with you that can help you with making change. And as you leave tonight, by the way, Larry has put down another 5, I think it is, or 6, as you guys leave here tonight. And that's what happens when you come live, by the way. Yeah. You get something to go, get something as you leave as well. But we've actually written out a whole bunch of tips for changes. We've laminated it for you. You can take it home, put it on your fridge, put it on wherever, put it in your business office, put it in your new office, Doug, in your reset office, and actually have it sitting there so you can look at this and look at how your life can be changed this month. By the way, if you're online and you want to get those tips for change, then please let us know in the chat or send a note to Sandy at gapcoaching.com.au or go to our gapcoaching.com.au website and go to the contact us, and we will get information to you. Any one of those 3 ways. Here's the 4 things. Number 1, drop the cynicism. Drop the cynicism. You might think that it's an unusual one, like that's an unusual one perhaps to start with when it comes to change. But cynicism is a symptom of a life of letdowns, disappointment, discouragement, and past memories. Let me just say that and read that again to you. Cynicism is a symptom of a life of letdowns, disappointment, discouragement, and past memories. And they make us think that this is the way that life actually is. Make us think that life is actually, this is all there is to it. I've been disappointed so many times, and now I'm going to become cynical, and I'm going to live my life in a cynical kind of way. How many of you know people that are like that? Yeah, those watching online. How many of you know people that have been watching, that have actually lived their life and do live their life? Maybe you do, to some degree, live your life like that. In the fact that everything you do, everything you say comes out and actually seeps, as it were, sarcasm. And what happens is that, and I wrote this down as well, this whole cynicism thing leads to a life of low expectation. And the sarcasm seeps from the wounds we have received over the years. Really does. And we end up becoming very sarcastic about the way we do things, say things, live our life. And in that sense, it becomes an attitude that causes a whole bunch of problems for each and every one of us. So the first one is drop the cynicism. Everyone say drop the cynicism. There you go. Next one is drop the facade. Drop the facade. And for those of you that don't know what a facade is, it's just basically let's drop being fake. All right? We live in a world today where people are living very fake lives. And in fact, I've found in a lot of young people's lives that I've dealt with over the last few years in mentoring apprentices and mentoring young people and helping young people in schools, is what I found is that the reality is that they're looking for authenticity, and they're looking for genuineness. They're actually looking for someone who's real and genuine and raw and has got it together, in the sense of not that they are perfect, but the fact that they are real and they'll be genuine with them. That's what we need to be doing. Because in fact, again, we talked about the pride aspect before. If you don't drop the facade, what you're really doing is saying, I need to put this fake persona up here. I need to be this way in order for me to be accepted, or in order for me to be, in terms of social media, liked, or, commented on or shared, or all those kinds of things that go with social media these days. That's the kind of thing that actually takes place. So we actually need to change that whole thing. So that's number 2, drop the facade. Number 3, face the challenge. Oftentimes people will not change because they've got a challenge in front of them and they don't want to face it. The reality is for us that we have challenges in life. Larry mentioned before about it. There are difficult things that we've had in our lives, all through our lives. And the fact is that oftentimes we can easily run away from that. We can easily say, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to face that. I am going to bury my head in the sand. I am going to just leave it right there until such time as someone passes or something passes by. So we need to actually learn to face challenges, because in order to face, in the fact that we face challenges means that we actually begin to change. The facing of the challenge means we change to grow, to become better, and we do better in life because we have faced challenges. I don't know about you, but the character growth that I've had in my life and the strength that I've had in my life has come from that, has come from those character building moments when I've had to face those things and deal with them up front, whether I like to or not. I've dealt with them, and in doing so, what happened is that challenge has changed me, and changed me for the better, and I've allowed it to be better rather than bitter. And of course, change can go in the negative realm as well. We haven't really even touched on that too much, but certainly change can go into the negative realm if we become frustrated and bitter and let all the stuff get over the top of us, rather than facing up to it and dealing with it. Everyone okay with that? Those 3 so far? And the last one is make change your friend. Make change your friend. It's so valuable to actually say, you know what, I am going to embrace change. I'm going to embrace the things that are necessary for me to be better in life, for me to listen to other people. I've often said this, particularly in marriage counseling, and that is this, that we have 2 of these and we have 1 of these. So there's a lot more. There's twice as much of this as what we should be doing about this. And so it's easy, though, for us to start just to talk over things. And oftentimes when we're nervous, when we're afraid, when we are insecure, when we're worried, we tend to do a lot more talking rather than the listening part. And we need to, in those moments when we're facing challenges and when we're dealing with stuff, those are the moments we actually need to listen more. A couple of people mentioned earlier on tonight about their relationship with God. For me, it's a relationship with God too. I listen to God. I listen to how he speaks into my heart and into my life. For us to actually listen to people that are good mentors and good people around us, that's really important. Part of the reason why we're doing this, why we're online right now, why we're sitting here with these people right now, and we'll be doing this, month on month as we keep going, is because there are a lot of people who need someone who can listen to them, someone who can actually support them, help them, grow them, develop them, mentor them, train them, teach them, all those things that go in together to be the person that they're meant to be and to face the change and to be happy to change and to get into that mode where our attitude goes from that cynicism we started off with into the place of an attitude of and a perspective of we can do this, can do people, as it were, as we kind of use that cliche a little bit. But nevertheless, it's true. Can do people are the people that actually get things done, aren't they? And they are willing to change. They're willing to make change. They're willing to be molded. They're willing to be reshaped. They're willing to be flexible to actually be the people that they can be. So they're the 4 things that I wanted to bring to you tonight. It's actually time for us to be ready to be changed. So for those of you that are watching on tonight and listening on, please make a comment there if you want to, or send us a little note on that if you want some more information about that. These notes will be available to the people that are here as well. I haven't got them tonight, but we can certainly email them to you. And if it's okay with you, we'll get your email address and use that and actually forward on some information to you about all of that as well. Is everyone cool with all that tonight? Yep. Very good. Excellent stuff. Well, now, Larry, we're going to close off in a very short period of time.
Yep.
But a couple of things that we want to finish with, and that is this. Number 1, we want to put out every month that we do this, we want to put out a challenge to you. So there's a challenge that we're putting out to you. And this month is a very simple one. And it's a very simple way of doing stuff. Well, we can do it every day. Put it this way. There are things that we can do every day to make this happen. And that is to learn to pay it forward. All right? Very simple one. But the deal is we want you to do at least 2 times this next month. Now, we want to hear from you guys. We're going to be in contact with you. We're going to be talking with you. So the challenge is out there at least 2 times this month. Now, you might already do this a lot. So if that's the case, it's an extra 2 times. So the idea is that at least twice this month, buy someone a coffee, do something really wonderful for somebody, do something great for somebody else, and help them to understand that they're supported, that they're loved, that they're cared for in our general community, wherever it may be. If you're watching online, the challenge is out to you as well. We want you to actually grab hold of this as well. So we want you to do at least twice this next month to buy someone a coffee or, like I said, someone else, or buy someone a lunch or whatever it may be, and change someone's day, change someone's life perhaps. We were talking earlier, Kathy, who's here with us tonight, was talking about a young lady that she had in the park that she's been meeting with and chatting with, and they go for dog park walks. And they've been chatting about stuff. And because of their conversations, the relationship is built to the point where that young lady's life is already starting to change. And so there are opportunities for us to be that kind of a person that can change someone's life. So that's for you to actually go out. It's your challenge to go out there and at least twice this next month and report back to us, because we want to make this a challenge that we could be accountable to. Come back to us and say, this is what I've done. If you're online watching this, we want to put the same challenge out to you. It's out to you. I'm pointing at you online. And I'm saying to you, please take up this challenge. We want you to be the kind of person that does something that will change someone's life today, maybe forever. You just never know. Larry.
Well, just continuing what Sandy's saying, if you don't know what pay it forward is, it's called an act of random kindness that you can give to someone else. It doesn't have to be financial. You can just help somebody, talk to someone you haven't done for a while, go and help your neighbour, those type of things. It's just something that you've actually set your intent, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And we're just looking forward to getting a report. So those that are online, just so we put that challenge out to you. It's not difficult. If you're prepared to change, that's one of the reasons we say, if you want to change, you can do it. If you don't want to change, you won't do it. That's as simple as it gets.
That's it. And look, we're gonna wrap up in just a couple of minutes now. So thank you so much for those of you watching online, for those of you that have been here with us tonight. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. one thing that we're going to finish with, if we can get the guys just to put that up, about we're doing a thing called, and we do a thing called the Gap Assist program. And this is something we do where we take people, young people per month. We're actually doing it with one of Scott's young guys at the moment as well. We're doing this mentoring program. It's a 12-month program. And for just $30 a month, we actually cover the whole cost of everything, getting all the information out to them, doing all the stuff that we do with them. One of the things that we found amongst the young people of today and people that are in transition as well. So it's not just young people, but it's people in transition, changing their lives, changing their situations. But the idea being is that we have created a 12-month program that starts with why you're here, your purpose, all the things that you're doing in your life, what's next, your career paths, the things that can actually help you in communication, in connection with people, how to run a business, how to budget, all those kinds of things. We actually do that over a whole year. We're, I think, third or fourth one in with young chap at your place, Scott. So we want to actually encourage you, those that are watching online, and of course those that are here, to actually be a part of that as well. Now, everyone on their seats as well, as we finish, has an application to be a part of this network. This is our inaugural launch night. And the reason why we're saying that is because, as Larry said earlier, about 14 months ago, we tried to start this. And then COVID came along and kind of stopped a lot of that. So we're finally getting back to the point where we can do this face-to-face connection, which is really very much part of what we wanted to do all the way along. But what we want to do is we actually want to set it up as a network for the year. You can actually go on a monthly basis. You can see it there, or you can do it on a yearly basis as well. For those of you watching online, if you're interested and you want to become part of this GAP network, we can send you the information via email. Please drop your email either through to us through the GAP Coaching website. You can see it there, gapcoaching.com.au/contact us to send questions or anything else that we can do, of course. That is great. So if you can actually just pop that in there, information, we will send this same form to you that these guys have here in front of them right now. And the reason we're wanting to do this is simply because we want to continue to do this for so many more people. You've heard our heart tonight. You've heard a little bit of what we do, how we're doing it, why we're doing it. There are many other things that we're adding to this program in the next few months as well. This is our inaugural launch, so we're still learning things. But initially, this is where we've started, and we're going to continue to grow this group of people that will continue to network and grow our connections together. And again, we mentioned it earlier, we want to take you from where you are to where you want to be in life and take the limits off of where you're thinking right now. So that's the reason for the applications in front of you. Yep. Please, no obligation to do anything tonight. Please take it with you. If you want to leave it with us tonight, that's great too. But other than that, please take it with you. We're not making it overly expensive. $30 a month, $300 a year. Like, that's next to nothing really in terms of what a lot of other places charge and things for networks and stuff. So it is a great opportunity. And tonight, hopefully, those that are here, have you learned something? Have you grabbed something tonight that you can take into your day tomorrow? Yeah? Okay. So if that's the case, then we've done something valuable for you tonight and for those of you that are online as well. So we look forward to having you part of that for the next time around. Larry, is there anything else you want to say as we finish?
Yeah, just on particularly with what Sonny was just saying now, remember that price per month, that is for you and a guest.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, just bring someone along.
Yeah.
Bring someone along. I said it earlier about, one of your staff members, family members. Someone might be hurting. You think you can bring them along here. They'll get some good input. They might learn a lot. There's a lot of personal development still ahead for everybody in our lives. We're always learning. And the beauty of it is to get to meet nice people like us. Here we go.
Yeah. And of course, we've kind of done a lot tonight. Actually, just happened to be that we talked a lot about personal stuff, but we'll talk a lot more about business things as well and the development of businesses and things as well. So that's all part of what we're doing as well. But again, it's all part of, lifting the lid on what it is that we can do in life. Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's about it for us tonight. So we're about to go offline, guys. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
See, bye, goodbye.
All
Say
right,
goodbye to everybody.
There we go.
See you later, guys. Thank you so much for being on.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate you coming. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Gap Network show. Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.